Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking Greg, your go.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders!
Wow. Hey, great.
I got it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
You gotta admit, it's kind of weird. Having sand in your shoes feels awful, but walking barefoot on sand, that feels glorious. I'm Greg, he's Tom.
Yeah, walking with sand in your shoes is like walking on glass.
Oh, it's terrible. Hate it. Good day. It's this 4th day of September, the year 2021, the latest it's ever been.
In the history of mankind.
Tom's here. I'm here. Joann joining us soon from the Paws Humane Society of Rockford. I had a good week. How was your week?
My week was very, very busy, but a good week.
Awesome.
It's really, for me, it's the same old thing. I work my normal day job, and then I have my trivia stuff that I do a couple of nights a week. So 3 days out of the week, I have a split shift, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 days is just kind of, work, whatever.
Do you find yourself with enough time on your split shift days to actually do something in between those gigs?
Not really. Mondays are good because I don't have to work anything else on Mondays and Fridays. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's the real rough ones for me. So,
yeah.
But no, I don't, because I'm busy recuperating, It just gets to be a lot.
Right. And yeah, maybe you get used to taking a nap.
Mm-hmm.
You got a couple hours.
I did yesterday. I took a 3-hour nap yesterday.
Isn't that glorious? It's wonderful.
It kind of was, but I was so tired. I was literally, and I mean literally, falling asleep while I was driving home yesterday. I mentioned earlier during our pregame, whatever, pregame warm-ups.
Pregame warm-ups.
That I was at the Windsor Pizza Parlor yesterday.
Yeah.
And I just was so tired. Maybe I just hadn't had enough wake-up juice or something. But I was so tired. I was at a stoplight, and I went, ugh. and I wanted to fall asleep. So I came home, took a nap, and by 4:30 I woke up, and I had a party to go to last night, and all it was playing music for some friends. It was my friend's brother's birthday, and it was fun. It was fun, but it was a really, really long night.
Yeah. So
it was fun, but that really didn't help because I didn't get to bed till 3 a.m. And up at what did that post say? I'm by some strange quirk. I'm up or something, or I don't remember what it was. You read it a little.
Let me find it because I just passed it up. My cousin Alan shares good stuff.
Due to unfortunate circumstances, I'm up this morning.
Due to unfortunate circumstances, I am awake.
I am awake. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't.
This is the unfortunate circumstance. No, I'm kidding.
I've reached the age for sure. Now I've reached the age now that I do not feel bad about saying, you know what, I need a nap today.
Yeah. Well, it's not just an age thing. It's a I work hard thing.
Yeah.
I work hard. I deserve to be able to take a nap or whatever,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So take your nap, friends. If you need to, you take the nap.
That's right.
It's all right to do that. And I think I've done that at least once this week, maybe twice. I know, like being a realtor, obviously my days, some days are completely packed out, and other days I really only have to work like early evening when I got some clients that want to see a house on a weekday. That's not uncommon. Just like this last Monday, I worked for like 2 or 3 hours in the early morning, and then I had the midday wide open. I didn't have showings until 7 o'clock at night. I had 2 or 3 houses to show at 7 o'clock at night on a Monday night. And the rest of the day, I was like, okay, I think I took a bit of a nap, but I got the I got the kayak out and hit the river for a while, and it was wonderful. I love being out there where there's hardly anybody out there. I saw 2 other people on the river, a few others walking in the park and biking and stuff like that. But actually,
that's okay for water traffic, but not if you flip over.
Yeah.
You want people around.
I don't worry about that too much.
Well, what scares me about kayaks is that you're not strapped in, but aren't you kind of like, oh crap, I got to get my legs out if you start to tip?
I have a very small kayak, so it is kind of tippy. Eventually I want to get a longer one, a more stable one, but the river is so shallow. It's kind of funny to even think about tipping over, getting in trouble. It's not like I'm in the Rock River where I could be in a spot where it's 10 feet deep all of a sudden. And I'm not worried about that on the Kish. There's very few spots where it's more than waist deep in the Kish.
I wonder how deep the Rock River is.
That's a good question. What's the deepest parts of the Rock River up and down the Rockford area? I mean, I wouldn't think it would get much deeper than maybe 12 to 14 feet. Is there spots where it's 20? I don't know. Maybe someone can educate us on that and fill us in on how deep they think the Rock River is.
Yeah, it would be interesting. How did you get on that tangent? Sorry.
Well, it's kayaking, all that stuff. Hey, we've got a big number of the week this week, and the big number is a big number. It is 100 million.
Right on!
100 million. This week's answer is cars or cubby. 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 Cars or cubby. And I spelled that because I didn't want Tom to think it had something to do with the Cubs. It's somebody's name. Anyway, so there you go. Our big number of the week. And we'll do the answer with Joann later on in the show before the show ends, if I remember. And I usually don't, but Tom usually does, or Joann usually does. So
yeah, I'm looking to get back on the winning track.
Where are we at right now?
I don't know, 1-0, Joann, I believe.
We are right now. Can I see that? Here we go. Joann won.
Even though every week she accuses me of really wanting to win, but she wins every week. So I don't know.
I got a kick out of it when the last game ended, when it was tied 9-9. She said something about purposely going with the answer she thought was wrong because she wanted to tie it or something. I don't know. But anyway, it didn't. It worked out that she actually won again. She's won 2 in a row.
Only 2 we've done. So
shout outs for this week. Let's start out with a shout out with Larry and his granddaughter Michelle. They closed on a house this week. This is really kind of cool, Tom. I was showing a young gal some houses here about about 2 months ago, and she was explaining how her grandpa's helping her get back on her feet after a little bobble in her life. And I probably showed her 5, maybe 6 houses total. I think that's about it. It took maybe 3 trips out to go find one that worked. And thankfully we had a very cooperative seller that got a few things done that needed to get done. A shout out today to Flood Pros. Flood Pros is one of our local businesses that looks like they should be a franchise, and they're not. If you look up Flood Pros, you would think they were a franchise.
Were you going to say Lube Pros?
I was. No, Flood Pros is an awesome business. If you need to check out something on your property that you think might need some attention, they've done some mold remediation for me in the past. This is the 3rd time I've needed them to come out to a property and just assess the situation to see if there was actually a serious thing going on. And thankfully this one was one of those where they came in. There was a photo that the lender's underwriter saw, and there was a note on a property disclosure that made the underwriter go, this house might have a fairly serious issue. We need more information. I get it. I'm, okay. So Flood Pros went out, looked at the place that was in question and said, no, this isn't mold. There's no foundation issues here that we can see. We wouldn't recommend any kind of mitigation at this time. Underwriter said, thank you for checking. Thumbs up. Loan approved. Boom. All right. So
Good. That's the way it's supposed to. That's the way it's supposed to work, right?
yeah. Yeah. So kudos to Flood Pros and their awesome quickness to get out there and check that out for us and keep us on track. We closed on time. Yeah, we didn't have to delay anything, which is awesome. So Michelle's got her house. Her grandpa's feeling good about her situation. She's in a nice place. And
Cool.
team sold on Tony sells another house. Was it yesterday? I was out yesterday showing a couple places down in Byron. There's a house for sale, like nearly literally across the street from the Hairy Cow. Have you been to the Hairy Cow yet in Byron?
The Hairy Cow, no.
If you get a
Where
chance,
is that?
it's on the river. If you're driving south on Route 2,
Okay.
just as you're getting into Byron, as soon as you go underneath the railroad
Okay,
track,
so just past Lake Louise.
past Lake Louise, and then as you're about to enter downtown Byron, there's those railroad tracks you go under.
Okay.
As
Right
soon-
around the curve.
Under the tracks, on the curve, and then right there on the river to the left-hand side is the Hairy Cow. It's an awesome
Okay.
restaurant and bar, and they've been working on that now for a few years. It's really looking great. It's a great place. You should be doing trivia there, Tom. I don't know if they do trivia there or not.
We
but-
do Byron. We do uptown lanes. And typically in a town that size, we're not going to have two
No, you're
two
right.
competing, because you might get 6 teams to play on uptown is Tuesday night. You may not get any teams to play on Wednesday night because anybody who wanted to play trivia had already played on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's real difficult. One, like for example, Arrow Ale House down in Byron, for a long, long time, Uptown Lanes wanted to do it, but Arrow said, no, if you have Uptown, we're out, we're done. So it's 6 and 1/2 dozen of another. So Mike had to wait until Arrow said, you know what, we're done, we're moving on, and then Uptown took over.
Okay. That makes sense.
Anyway,
That makes sense.
but it is something, I'll pass it on to Mike and see what he says.
Even if it was for a special event, the Hairy Cow place, it's the way that the restaurant is, it would be a really good place for a trivia night. So yeah, kudos to shout out to the Hairy Cow for all the improvements they've made right there on the Rock River down in Byron, Illinois.
I will see that tomorrow. I go to Byron every Sunday morning for breakfast with my buddy. Well, mutual friend Ron, you used to work with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
We've been doing breakfast for 21 years.
Good deal. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, he lived around the corner from me, and we started doing breakfast about 20 years ago. And we've been doing it pretty much every week since then.
Awesome.
We rarely miss.
Shout out Ron. And last night was the end of the season Starlight Theater banquet, Rock Valley College Starlight Theater. Chris Brady is the director, the lead there for all things Starlight Theater at Rock Valley College. And he gave a little wrap-up speech last night, which was really educational, because what happened last year, from basically last year about this time, they had to start making a lot of decisions as to what are they going to do in 2021, because we were under tier 4 mitigations and stuff like that. And it's like the way things were looking, if we were going to do shows at Starlight Theater based on the way things were a year ago now, they were saying things like, you're going to be allowed maybe 50 people in the theater total.
Yeah.
Total. And they're like, no, that's not going to work. So they came up, and little did we, and I didn't know this until last night, how far along they've gotten. They had started planning parking lot shows, like a drive-in theater, drive-in live theater.
Wow.
You've seen and heard of drive-in movie theaters. A lot of those popped up. In fact, they did one at the old Magna store on State Street. Once or twice last year, last fall.
They did it at Applebee's. out there on Riverside and
They did that there
Alpine.
too. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. They had picnic tables out there and everything. They've had several pop-up drive-in movie theaters.
Okay, I know a lot about.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
So they had gotten so far into the planning that they were figuring they were going to have up to like 200. I forget the numbers, but anyway, they were going to do a parking lot stage, have it set up so cars could park in such a way and watch the show. It was like, they're trying to figure out how to do the box office and all this sort of thing. They had gotten really far in the planning to the point where once the new year started, once 2021 started in January, it was like, okay, we're reinterpreting the way these tier 1 or these tier 4, whatever mitigation, I forget now, it's all these things. They said, we think you're going to be able to allow 200 people in the theater. And that's when they decided, okay, we're going to do shows in the theater. And, but we're going to have to do shows that have smaller casts. So they scrapped the idea of doing the 4 shows that they had planned on doing and got shows which required smaller casts. And that's the season that they had this year, which ended up being immensely successful. It was such a great year. Kudos to all the cast of Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder kicked off the season and put everyone at ease as to just how well things were going to go. Yeah. Charlie Brown had decent turnouts for their shows as well. Once Upon a Mattress was, I think, the biggest. There's Snoopy. Somebody feed Snoopy.
It says, I'll do it tomorrow. It's my motto.
I think the biggest cast was Once Upon a Mattress. They had some great shows. And then Pinkalicious for the kids, those 3 or 4 shows they did for them was successful. And then wrapped up the season with Little Shop of Horrors. They had really great turnouts. It was a really good season. Yeah. The concessions at the Starlight Theater broke records this year for dollars made at the concession stand. That might have had something to do with people just making donations too and missing theater. I'm not sure about that, but as far as the dollars per profits go, it was a record breaking year. So thanks to everybody who came out and supported Starlight Theater, Rock Valley College this year. It was a great summer. And then,
it's a great thing to support. I mean, you're right. Kudos to them, but it's such a great thing to support and people get good entertainment as well. So it's a good thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And I wasn't sure if I should say this or not, but I got to serve Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child at the concession stand. She was at the show.
Did you really?
I did. Wow. Yeah. I didn't know how often she was in Rockford, but apparently she's in Rockford enough that she was able to take in a show. So she was there with, I think, her little nieces. Nice. It was really cool to my wife is like, I had to keep myself from fangirling on her because she was like, I know who this is. This is Michelle Williams. Wow.
Wow. Did you get an autograph?
No. In fact, I bit my tongue because I wanted to ask her. There was a rumor a few weeks ago that Destiny's Child might get back together, at least for some kind of reunion tour, because they changed a photo on their Facebook page or something. And it was, I'm not sure what it was. It might have been a more current photo of them together for something. Mm-hmm. And that made a bunch of people go, oh, reunion tour. So all
right. So trivia question for you then.
Yes.
Name all 3 members.
Kelly Rowland.
Okay. You got them.
Michelle Williams. And then there's this third gal. I'm not sure.
That's the toughest one of all, of course.
Bonce.
I think it's pronounced bounce, but hey,
we'll call her Beyonce.
I think that's it. Yeah. It's the Kelly Rowlands. I didn't know if you'd get that one.
I wasn't sure either. I had to pause.
And right out of the box, you hit it. That was the first one. That's good. That's good, man.
And of course, also Jody Benson was also at a couple of the shows.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Her daughter performed this year in Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder and in Charlie Brown.
Wow.
She was really good. She's a really good actress, and my goodness, can she sing? I equated her singing voice to a young Julie Andrews. Think Mary Poppins without the accent.
Wow.
Yeah, really, really good. Last thing for a shout out this week, at least for me, is I had fun hanging out with you last Saturday watching the last pre.
That was fun.
game.
That was fun. The outcome wasn't very good. 19-0. The Packers lost, but
they were. I'm not going to say they were terrible because they met my expectations. I thought they would do good on offense. They just didn't complete the scoring.
I thought about what you said. The defense was very good. Well, actually, offense and defense, considering it was our second team going against their first team.
The Buffalo
Not a fair fight.
Is a playoff caliber team.
They are a potential Super Bowl team.
They are.
That Josh Allen is the real thing. He is the real deal. But I think what do we give him 3 or 4 not goal line stands, but I mean, we stopped them on a couple of trips down, held them to a field goal. And I think one time there was a fumble or something. I can't remember exactly, but they didn't score 42 points on us. You know, they didn't. 19-0.
That is what I expected. I expected
you did. And after
30 or 40 to 7 or 10 game. I didn't think they'd blank us out, but I really field goal.
Honestly don't think that Matt LaFleur and the Packers coaching staff were too interested in scoring, because there were a couple of times they went for it, 4th and 7 or whatever. You could have easily kicked the field goal. And then I think later in the game, I think it was we left. When did we leave? Third quarter?
Yeah, it was like the third quarter.
I think it was it might have been the start of the fourth. But anyway, when Mason Crosby did kick that field goal, I think they were just saying, look, let's just get some points. And that didn't work. So that strategy may have backfired.
I'm pretty sure that was a whiff based on the hold.
You think so? Yeah.
I think that was based on the hold. The way that Mason Crosby, here's our Packer logo. Woo!
Yeah, baby.
I based on Mason Crosby's reaction after the kick, the way he connected with the holder, I think he was saying, you did this, you should have did that.
Yeah.
And oh, well, it's preseason. Let's just move. Let's get out of here. And I was embarrassed.
Laces out. Remember that Ace Ventura Pet Detective? Laces out.
Laces out. And for those who don't know what that means, obviously a football has laces on it, and you don't want to kick the laces because they stand out a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
And if the laces are facing the kicker and the kicker's foot hits the laces, it makes it veer off one way or the other. Mm-hmm. It really does. So you want the laces.
I tell you what, that everybody gets on the kicker and everybody gives the kicker a lot of praise when he makes the kick. That requires 3 moving parts: center, holder, and kicker. Yeah. And all 3 have to do their job and do it well. We take for granted those easy extra points or those 28-yard field goals. I'll tell you what, that's a tough job.
It is. The long snapper's goal is to hit the holder's hands where the holder's hands where he feels most comfortable.
Right there. He's got to have chest high right there.
You'll get holders who want the ball lower and feel better, comfortable there. You want some holders that want that ball coming right at their face, so they have to boom, catch it right there and get it down. It all depends on the holder's preference. And the long snapper, it's a hard enough job anyway to get the ball out there without throwing it over the guy's head.
Yeah.
If you're used to hiking to a standing up quarterback, or a punter who's another, 6-8 yards further back than the kickoff, than the field goal team is. I forget how far back the punter stands compared to the field goal kicking team, but it's a lot different. It's a different skill set. So yeah, they've got some special teams to work on, and hopefully the Packers work that out this week, because I want them to win. I want them to beat New Orleans in Jacksonville.
I heard about that in Jacksonville. Sorry, where are you? Oh, there you are. This is my cat. We've named her Psycho.
Psycho the cat.
Psycho. Spend 5 minutes with her and you'll know exactly why. She's a great cat, but now she won't leave me alone, of course.
Well, you're just too friendly, Tom.
I know. There you go, baby. You got to get down. Dad's got a show to do.
I can't bring myself to feel too bad for the Saints, but I got to tell you, I think the Jacksonville crowd is going to be very predominantly Packers.
Probably. I feel bad for New Orleans in that they lose a home game.
They
and you're right. It's probably going to be predominantly Packers, but more than that, I think there's probably only going to be about 25,000 people there. I just don't see a bunch of Jacksonville fans going out to that game.
Consider this. It's in Florida, where there are relaxed restrictions on things, right?
This is true. Yeah.
I mean, Green Bay Packer fans can hit Milwaukee Airport and fly down to Jacksonville for like $100.
Wow. Why don't you and I do that?
Hey, dude.
Week after next, we could do it. Let's do it.
I honestly think it's going to be about a 60-40 or 70-30 Packers fan to Saints fan stadium at that Jacksonville.
Why wouldn't it be? I mean, just because it's a Saints home game, so to speak. And why didn't they play it in like Texas, or why didn't they play it in Houston?
There's a concert at Dallas that weekend, so they couldn't do that. I don't know what the Houston thing was. I don't know what problem there was in Houston, but that
they could have played it at the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio. I mean, I don't understand why Jacksonville.
Well, they had to make a fairly quick decision, and Jacksonville was the one that came together first. So
yeah, I guess
there they are, and go Pack, go! I sense another 35-17 football game. Packers beat the Saints.
I would love that. I'd like to finally see the Packers score something this year. I think, the game we went to, 19-0. The game before that was 17-7 or something. I mean, they've barely scored 15, 17, 18, 20 points this year.
Yeah. We didn't see Aaron Rodgers at all.
No. Or Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams. I mean, and the line, I think you got to get your line some work. But still, David Bakhtiari didn't play. I don't know. I'm a little worried about center. Corey Linsley, all-star. Now he's with, I think, San Diego, or not San Diego.
Rams, right?
No. The San Diego, but wherever they are now.
LA Chargers, yeah.
LA Chargers, right. And who I can't remember who else they lost.
Well, losing Corey Linsley stunk, but the young guy that they got from Ohio State's really good.
Oh, he's really good. He's really good. He'll probably be an all-star in his own right. But I'm worried about this year. I'm not worried about 2, 3, 4 years from now. Because it took Corey Linsley a couple of years to become an all-star. So you don't want to mess with the line. You don't want to mess with the defense. You don't want to mess with your linebacking core. You don't want to mess with your running backs. I was upset that they got rid of Devin Funchess. I didn't think that he had much of a chance.
But he got injured.
I get it. But
he looked great in that first preseason game. I thought.
Oh my God, that catch he made where he was going back this way and he snags it and grabs it like under and then curls.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow. That was incredible. We needed somebody to take the pressure off of Devontae, because every team goes after Devontae Adams, and it's only because we have Aaron Rodgers finding other guys.
Well,
that Devontae Adams is a superstar. He's great. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, it's because Aaron Rodgers can find the other guy if Devontae's covered. Now they can't just cover Devontae and not worry about the other guys, because the other guys can catch. Alan Lazard is very good. Robert Tonyan's very good.
Yes.
Oh, and Jay Sternberger. I was extremely impressed with him.
And don't forget, they brought back Randall Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's your slot guy. Who was I know Jordy did a lot of the stuff when he was there too, but who was the last guy that was the inside threat?
Well, probably
Freeman?
Marte. Oh, you mean way back?
Well, I'm just the last guy who was a total threat in the slot position, because you knew he could at any time he could do that angle pattern right through the middle of the defense, and if the
Antonio
linebacker's not on
Freeman,
him,
probably Antonio Freeman, but there was somebody else after that because that was going back to the Favre era.
Yeah,
Actually, I think he played a little bit with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know.
Greg Jennings is one.
Jennings was fast, but you've got MVS, who's one of the fastest guys in the NFL.
That's who I was going to say. Martavius, no.
Valdez Scantling.
Valdez Scantling. Martez Valdez Scantling.
That's what MVS. It's a lot easier.
MVS, yeah.
But he's so fast that you have to respect him going deep every single play. And that gives Adams the freedom to do just about any route he wants.
Absolutely. And Adams gets free, and he doesn't have to do it a la Alshon Jeffrey. He doesn't have to push off. He can just kind of get free just because he's so that 1-2 step he does, the breaking ankles. I mean, if he was a basketball player, he'd be a superstar. But yeah, I'm telling you, I haven't felt as good about the Packers in any year over the last 15 to 20 years as I do this year. They were literally a couple steps from playing in the Super Bowl and probably winning. The way Kansas City looked last year, I mean, Tampa Bay absolutely dismantled Kansas City. 34-9 or 30, whatever it was, 9 points for Kansas City. They didn't even see the end zone. And Green Bay, I think Green Bay was a better team than Tampa Bay last year. But I think Bruce Arians outcoached Matt LaFleur. And I think that gets shored up this year. We've got a couple of extra players, additions, Randall Cobb, and a few others. This Kylan Hill looked really good, that running back.
Yes.
I didn't want to lose Jamal Williams, but this Kylan Hill looks really good. And then Jay Sternberger. If you've got a 2 tight end set with Sternberger and Robert Tonyan, look out. You give Aaron Rodgers 4 or 5 targets to hit. One of them is Devontae Adams. One of them is Randall Cobb, Jay Sternberger, Robert Tonyan, Martez Valdez Scantling. My God, if those 5 guys are on the field at the same time, any one of those can be a game breaker. Any one of those. And then you got Aaron Rodgers behind a good line with the potential play action pass. The threat of a play action with Aaron Jones or Kylan Hill. This could be an unstoppable offense. I know this sounds Pollyanna, I don't know, but these guys are good enough to get to the Super Bowl and perhaps win the Super Bowl. I'm very confident.
There's so much talent.
And then that defense. Here, one more thing. I'm sorry, I'm on a roll. You got me going here. One more thing about the defense. Last year under Mike Patton deserved to be gone because especially in the NFC Championship game, Kevin King gets absolutely toasted toward the end of the first half. That was a backbreaker. That was an absolute backbreaker. 8 seconds left, and he gets that touchdown. He beats him by 10 yards. This short little guy from Tampa Bay catches the ball and was like, oh, wow, Merry Christmas to me. Anyway, that stuff isn't going to happen this year because it's a much more going to the ball type of defense. I don't know how I heard it explained, but everybody rushes to the ball. Everybody is very hyper focused on getting where the ball is rather than necessarily, you know what I'm trying to say? It's a much more aggressive defense. That's what I'm saying.
The speed's better and the talent is better.
Right.
So you're going to be able to do the more one-on-one stuff.
Right. Exactly. That's right. Because it's a much more aggressive defense in that they're not going to have to worry about a Kevin King. I keep wanting to say Kenny King. He's a former DB with Oakland. But anyway, we won't have those types of Kevin King moves, where he's got some guy 10 feet behind him or 10 yards behind him. I mean, it's going to happen, but not on a regular basis. Kevin King had an awful, awful game last year in the NFC Championship game. I just don't see that happening this year. I like their new defensive coordinator and I like his philosophy. And I think the players are responding to him as well, which is why you saw a second string defense for the most part handle a first string offense at Buffalo. You're right, 19-0. Nobody wants a loss, but wow, I'll take that every day if it means our second team looked as good as they did. So
yeah, I'm just not too worried about that. That first team is going to be awesome. So, Packers Saints next week. And
we're going to Jacksonville to see it, right?
It would be fun, but I don't see that happening, buddy.
Oh, come on. What's your sense of adventure? Fly in about 6 a.m. and watch the game, come back about 6 p.m. Done.
That'd be something. It's a noon game.
Yeah.
All righty.
So we flying at 4 a.m.
I'm a little bit concerned. I haven't heard from Joann this morning, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Not a thing at all. I wonder, she's in a spot where she can join us today. Otherwise it might be an early show, might be an early end of the show. I think that covers all my shout outs for the week. That was there's other stuff I could go off on a tangent on too, but bottom of the hour, we're ready to switch gears here.
Okay.
And again, still waiting for Joann to join us.
Yeah, after the bottom of the hour stuff, I've got some tangents of my own I could go on.
All right. So here's, as far as news stuff goes, let's take a look at some of the stuff that's going on around the area. In the outdoors, free nature programs, of course, happening all the time out at Atwood Center. Atwood Center in Rockford and New Milford School Road, one of those hidden gems in the area that if you have not checked out yet, you need to do that. 9 to 11 a.m. absolutely free. Today, I believe, is their last session of the summer, so to speak. Camping 101, creating an outdoor oasis, learn ways to enjoy life outside by setting up a tent, starting a fire, and packing for a hike, along with some basic first aid. Advanced registrations were highly recommended. That doesn't mean you couldn't go still this morning, but it starts at 9. So you have to get out there right now. All those other things to see at the Atwood Center as well. They've got that Birds of Prey exhibit that's out there. They do that every Saturday afternoon, and very, very cool place to hike around, and some very groomed trails. There are quite a few hills, so you do want to be able-bodied and such, but some of them are groomed in such a way that you could probably go through them pretty well with I know I've seen people in not your standard wheelchairs, but your like off-road wheelchair type things. You could probably tackle some of the trails out of Atwood with something like that. So check out the Atwood Center. And of course, Lockwood Park as well. Lockwood Park, Trailside Equestrian Center and Children's Farm out on Safford Road. They've got their stuff every Saturday and all different kinds of things you can do between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. all the way through the end of October. Lockwoodpark.com is their website, part of the park district, and all the fun stuff that they got going on out there for the kids to do, including pony rides. They got pony rides out there, which is fun. Technicolor Constellations is the current main exhibit at the Rockford Art Museum. They've got those every Sunday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday between 10 and 5. It's a free thing to go through. Let's see. Technicolor Constellations, bringing together work by 38 artists and including painting, prints, sculpture, and video. A bunch of featured artists as well at the Rockford Art Museum, 711 North Main Street in Rockford. Sinisippi Golf Sunday Fun Days are running through the end of October as well. Rockford Park District inviting families and beginner golfers to enjoy Golf Sunday Fun Days every Sunday after 3 p.m. At Sinisippi. They also do this at the Ingersoll course as well. Admission $5 per person. Carts available for an additional fee. Reserve a tee time online. Walk-ups are welcome based on availability at the course. Fun days feature 9 holes of play from the easy tees, slower pace of play, limited sets of clubs available for beginners to use free of charge. And check out golfrockford.org for more information on that.
Speaking of golf, I know I couldn't make golf on Monday, but this Monday I'm good.
We got to get out to Mississippi.
Yeah. You want to do it Monday? I know it's Labor Day, but
that probably won't happen Labor Day.
Okay, fine.
I'll have family stuff on Labor Day, but
and we don't have anything technically planned, but we probably will. So,
my friend and fellow realtor Stacy Brown at Keller Williams, she recently spoke with the folks over at WIFR TV about an upcoming color run at Mississippi Park. It's on September 18th. And I want to play the video if this will let me. And I'm going to see if this works. Please work.
And money for a cause, the color run gives people the opportunity to have some fun and get a little messy, all in the name of charity. In just a few weeks, Mississippi Park will welcome Rockfordians onto its grounds in the name of highlighting the growing need to encourage diversity in home ownership. And joining us to discuss this is Keller Williams Realty's Stacy Brown. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
So I touched a little bit on it, but what exactly is the color run and what makes it so special?
Sure. So the color run is a 5K, 3.1 mile fun run walk. Participants will be covered in powder color at various stops along the way.
So I think, we've all heard of these color runs in various parts of the country, but why are we doing it here in Rockford? Why are we raising money? Who does it benefit?
Sure. So it benefits anyone that's looking to get into the real estate industry. So the real estate industry is very broad. There's tons of different options like a realtor, a loan officer, tons of different, careers that you can get into. So that's who it's going to benefit.
So I touched a little bit on it, but I know that this color run in particular is really focused on expanding not only who joins the real estate world, but what they look like and what communities they represent. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Sure. So, our goal is to represent diversity within real estate. So, we want African Americans, Hispanics, we're an all-inclusive environment, all-inclusive company. So we're inviting anyone that, wants to join the world of real estate. Like I said, any color background, we want you to be a part.
So I know that the money that's raised goes toward a type of scholarship. Can you tell me about that and what are some of the requirements behind it?
Absolutely. So like you said, the color run, all of the proceeds will go towards the scholarship. The requirements are very simple. So it'll be certain things like writing an essay about yourself, just so we can get to know a little bit more about you. And then once that's completed, there will be a board that will review all applicants, and then the scholarship will be awarded from there.
I think it's really interesting that Keller Williams is behind something that, you hear about color runs when it comes to whether it's cancer awareness or, a back to school fundraiser. Why was this the way that the money wanted to be raised versus any other type of fundraising opportunity?
Yeah, great question. So this was actually an idea by some of our Keller Williams agents, Jennifer Moran and Chris Geddes, brought this idea to our committee. And we thought it was, a fun and creative way to get Rockford involved and get the community involved, which is what we want. So we want this to go outside of Keller Williams agents and leadership. Anyone's invited to come to this and get involved.
So I know that when you say a run of something, you think of a 5K or you think of something really rigid. What's kind of different about this versus like any other race?
Absolutely. So you definitely don't have to run. You can walk. So it's a walk run. Do whatever you're able to do, whatever you're comfortable with doing. And even if you're not able to participate at all, if you want to, sponsor someone else, we're open to that as well.
So for anyone that's watching that is inspired to sign up, how can they do that?
Absolutely. So they can go to kwcolorrun.race. race, ROSTER.com.
Awesome. Well, Stacy, thank you so much for taking the time to not only talk to us about what a color run is for those who don't know, but to highlight a really important cause in our community. So hopefully people get inspired to sign up.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thanks to WIFR for having her on and filling us in on what's happening with the color run. For more information, kwcolorrun.raceroster.com.
It was a very good interview. Whoever the gal was, I didn't catch her name. Obviously, the weekend anchor at 23. She's very good.
Yeah,
that was a very, very good interview.
Nicely done. And and our Stacy Brown has represented. She's our culture chair, or not culture chair, but regional culture chair for Keller Williams in the Midwest region. Does a wonderful job. So that is coming up September 18th. If you are a runner or just walker or just like getting pelted with very colorful powder, it should be a whole lot of fun. North End Commons Farmers Market has been a weekly tradition for the people of the North End for many, many years. And about 6 years ago, the Rockford City Market team started managing the market, and they moved right across the street from DeRathskeller, adjacent to Midland Bank over there, for better visibility. They attracted a lot of new patrons, and it's been a really great turnout. They've had great weather too the last few weeks. North End Market, full of fresh local products and food. Saturday mornings, 8 till noon, all the way through mid-October. And they've got an Instagram feed at North End City Market, at North End City Market on Instagram. I am still not okay. Still haven't heard from Joann. Maybe she had something going on this weekend that I forgot her saying about, but
yeah, I don't remember anything. Have you texted her?
I did. Yeah. So, all right. Well, might not be a pause week for us for the first time in a long time. Some other random, I'm just going to skip this thing here because some randoms and things you did not know yesterday. Google's drone delivery service is called Wing. I don't feel like I've heard much about this yet, but they've reached 100,000 deliveries worldwide. They're doing it. I don't know where, but they're doing it. The App Store has registered 30 million registered developers, and 1 billion customers spent over $72 billion on apps last year. This, according to the Wall Street Journal. Woo, $72 billion. Recent look into Facebook's data found the platform's most popular posts are often plagiarized. Shocker. After too many people got hurt falling off of stacked milk crates, TikTok is banning the milk crate challenge videos.
Oh, God.
Did you see any of those?
No.
I've seen a couple. The one that caught my eye the most, which was successful, the mascot for the Indianapolis Colts did the milk crate challenge and actually completed it without falling off.
How many?
I want to say they build them in a pyramid.
Okay.
And they're single stacked. So each step you're on one single stack. And the top one, it had to be 9 or 10 high.
Wow.
It was up there. And the guy's in the mascot suit. That had to be tough. Yeah. Anyway, no more milk crate challenge videos on TikTok. Whatever. This woman did something very interesting with her car, and I'm going to try to share this with you. You're of course familiar with the Chia Pet.
Yeah.
This gal basically took Chia Pet seeds and spread them all over her car. And here it is. Can you see it?
Oh, wow.
Every painted surface on the outside of her car covered in chia seeds. And there she is driving down.
Oh my God.
I just found that completely hilarious. Anyway.
That's cool.
I'm not I don't have a TikTok account. but if you're on Instagram, you're seeing a lot of the TikTok stuff. And anyway, that kind of caught the attention this week. Who would win a fight, Tom, between an eagle and a drone?
Probably, oh boy. I would say probably a drone, because a drone could just keep going and going and going. You don't have to worry about him bleeding or anything like that. But I'll say the eagle, because the eagle can scratch him with his talons.
There's your eagle taking down a drone and saying, "You're mine, drone."
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's a very small drone.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that.
Oh, I wouldn't mess with him. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Get out of my airspace. Pushed it right to the ground.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I said eagle. Do I get a point for that?
You should get a point for that. All right. If you need a quick backdrop for your website or for Zoom, there's a site with a whole bunch of free textures that is kind of cool. lostandtaken.com. And I was going to download some of these and share them, but instead I'll just go ahead and share the website. lostandtaken.com. Free texture stock photos. Are you into the grunge?
No.
So here's a bunch of grunge textures that you can just download and use on your site or on your Zoom background. How about paint?
I like the one in the for me upper left.
The red stripes?
Down. No, down. I'm sorry. There. That's kind of cool.
So let's see if I can do this. If I can save.
Save as, yeah. Okay. Or send to your device, maybe. I don't know.
Downloads. It says, well, it just says web page complete. So that's not going to work. But details. There we go. Look at that.
You know what? I like that. You could do the copy image.
Save image.
Save image or copy image, and then put the image on, say, Microsoft Word, and then you'll have it for a background for anything.
So I'll stop saving that. Let's see how quickly I can do this, guys. This will be interesting. I want to choose a virtual background.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add a virtual background image.
I don't know if it would work for a background. It's kind of busy, but I like the color scheme on it. Oh, look at that.
That's kind of cool.
It is. And now with the news, Greg Saunders. Worldwide news. An explosion in Tibet. It does look like a big fiery ball of something.
Saturday. Anyway, so that's a website called lostandtaken.com. Just spelled like it's supposed to be spelled. Lostandtaken.com.
I'm going to download that, or well, whatever, check into it. Lost and Taken.
I was going to ask you and Joann a question today, but I guess it's just going to be you.
Yeah, it's just going to be me, but I got some rants. That I want to get through.
Two questions before we go to the rants.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant for the big number. Yeah.
Before the big number. This is outside of the big number.
Ask away.
4% of people asked in a recent survey say that they brush their teeth in the shower. Where do you brush your teeth?
In the sink.
Standing in front of the sink.
Standing in front of the sink. Never once. I don't think I've ever brushed my teeth in the shower.
I might have in a hotel room.
I've peed in the shower more than I brushed my teeth in the shower. And all I had to do was one time.
That's
I know,
a normal thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not a normal thing for me, but I think a time or two it's probably happened.
Well, the thinking, Tom, is
sorry, folks,
because it saves a flush.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just telling you what I've heard.
It does make your toes yellow.
All right. Alicia Williams, here's your last question before ranting and then big number. Alicia Williams has amassed 2.4 million TikTok followers by showing what?
Wow.
And it's appropriate. It's not inappropriate.
By showing her pets. I don't know.
All right. So Alicia Williams has amassed 2.4 million TikTok followers. And she's done it by showing how she cleans vintage gravesite markers. You see this?
I find that so uninteresting. It isn't even funny.
You really?
God bless her. That's awesome.
163,000 people watched this video. I don't know what she says, but okay, there's, you can hear it. Got a plastic scraper. Known as the Three Otters. It was, oh,
Does she get paid for this?
Abel's descendants maintained ownership and lived in the home for over 100 years. So she's sharing facts about this person. Three Otters is listed on the National Register of Historic Places as well as Virginia Landmark Register. So it's kind of like a History Channel type thing, only on TikTok. Look at that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
That's kind of, I mean, what, talk about your niche, right?
Yeah. But does she make money off of, like, does the family pay her $50 for doing it, or is it just a hobby? I mean, I would think that would take a long, long time.
I'm guessing people make money on TikTok just like they do on YouTube.
Sure. All you need is 1,000 subscribers. That's the way it is with YouTube. And so she's probably making money off the website, but I'm just wondering if there's an extra bonus for who would watch that. I couldn't. Okay, I saw the one and it came out cool, but once you see one, aren't the other 10,000 the same?
Well, no, because each one has its own story about the person and where they live.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good point. If it's about the story, if she's telling the story as she goes, like this guy was a World War II veteran, blah blah blah, or World War I, or probably whatever.
You're right.
If they're 100 years old.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Kudos, Alicia Williams. You're something very interesting.
She's far smarter than me. That's all I know.
It makes me think a little bit of American Pickers.
Yeah.
Because they tell stories with the stuff that they pick, and often you're like, wow, that's really kind of cool. So anyway, that wraps up my randoms for this week. What do you got for rant this week, Tom?
Okay, here's my rant. We kind of talked about this a little bit. No, I don't want to get into the whole COVID thing. It doesn't matter. It's mask time. Let's all wear our masks if we're supposed to, and shut up and just take your medicine. Bulls and Blackhawks, United Center. This is where I think it's getting a little out of hand. They are saying now that unless you have the vaccine or have a negative test for COVID in the last 72 hours, 48 hours, or whatever, you cannot go to any events there, meaning Bulls games, Hawks games, concerts, whatever. Getting a little out of hand here, a little out of hand. I'm tired of it. I'm just to the point where it's ridiculous. Fine. I won't go to a Bulls game. I won't go to a Blackhawks game. I won't go see you two at the United. I wouldn't anyway, but anyway. So
I've got a feeling, Tom. I've got a feeling that this is going to affect the bottom lines at some point, and things are going to start to relax.
You're probably right about that. Okay, rant number 2. I believe it's Microsoft. Well, it's Google. It's whatever it is. On my taskbar, all of a sudden, and I know this because I didn't do it. I would never do it. I don't want anything on my taskbar except I got the start menu. I got my my thing for Windows Media Player. I got Spotify. I've got Microsoft Word. I got Google. I got Cool Edit, and I've got Zoom. That is my taskbar. And then over on the other side, I've got a few other things. Over here on the other side, all of a sudden I had, I think it was Microsoft News. And of course, the news is not to my liking. It's all about how Biden's doing a wonderful job and Trump's an idiot. And that's fine. That's fine. If you believe that, God bless you. You have every right to. I don't care. But I'm just saying it was never anything good about Trump. It was always something good about Biden. So that's a problem for me in itself, because if I'm going to have news on my taskbar, it's going to be the news that I believe is to be true, not what you believe is to be true. It's my computer, my news. But here's the thing. This is what makes me mad. I didn't put it there. I did not put it there. Microsoft loaded it onto my computer without my permission. I didn't give them permission to do it. It took me forever to get it off of there because I had to figure out where it was and how to get it off of there. It was easy. It was easy. I was going about it the wrong way. But anyway, it just irritated me that it was there, because what would happen is every time you run your mouse near it, it pops up, and it kept doing it during trivia. I use my computer for trivia. And when I'm trying to play a song and I've got Microsoft News on there, Joe Biden did this or did that.
So you found a way to get rid of it?
I did. Yeah. I hit a right click on it and go into the menu settings, and it was disable that. So it was actually very easy.
It's bothered me too, but I didn't look into getting rid of it yet. And now that you mentioned that it wasn't that hard, I'm going to look into that.
Oh, it just made me so mad. Final thing, folks, if you're a driver out there and you're driving 80 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour on any road other than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you're an idiot. I hope you get stopped by the cops and thrown in jail for a good long time and get your driver's privileges taken away. There was a young man killed the other day, a week and a half ago, Thursday, because some moron was driving 80 miles an hour down Broadway. I was coming home from trivia. I didn't see anything because the accident had happened a couple of hours before that, but everything was shut down and the whole street and everything. There's some poor family really grieving. I don't want to get too deep into it because it might bring up old wounds, but that's because some moron decided to drive 80 miles an hour down Broadway. Well, the other day I saw somebody driving about 80 or 100 on I-39 and just absolutely weaving in and out of traffic. I am not a vengeful person. I don't want anything bad to happen, but doggone it, when he finally comes to a stop, I wish all four of his tires would blow. I don't want him to flip. I don't want anybody to die, but I hate when people are, because you may be in control. Maybe you know how to race. Maybe you know how to weave in and out of traffic. But that guy next to you who isn't a very experienced driver, or that old lady next to you on the other side who is really timid behind the wheel, that's a different story. She probably should turn in her license. But nonetheless, you don't know what's going on with the other people and how you're freaking them out. Slow it down, folks. And then one final thing, stop parking in the fire lane at Walmart. That is not a parking space. Go park in the rest where the rest of us have to park. Okay. I have a bad knee and I have a bad wrist. Not that it matters. It's hard to walk sometimes. I sometimes have to park 4 blocks away to get a good parking, to get my parking space. I don't get to park in the fire lane. I could. Maybe they won't say anything. I don't know, but it's not a parking space. So stop doing it, folks.
Got to start ticketing people.
Yeah. We got to start ticketing people. You are right.
And I wonder if that's happening more often now, maybe because of, is there a lack of staffing? Is there a lack of police coverage in some areas because of stuff?
I'll tell you what, this is my take on it. And I know absolutely for some of this is true. Walmart has a policy where they're not going to challenge people on that. I was at Walmart about 8 years ago. My dad was in a wheelchair, so he always got the cart as we drove. I saw a couple little kids, young kids, wandering around. Uh-oh, what happened to me?
Lost your video, but I can still hear you.
Huh. Oh, you know what happened? Oh, well, anyway, we were there. My dad was waiting for a cart. And these couple of kids were tooling around on him. And I said to the lady, are you going to say anything? They were just jacking around. And she says to me, we can't say anything. I remember that.
Thanks a lot, Walmart.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Walmart.
Well, there you are, the other camera. Our big number of the week this week is 100 million.
Right on!
100 million. The answer this week is Cars or Cubby.
Oh, I haven't even thought about it.
Cars or Cubby. All right, give me your answer, Tom.
I'm going to go with Cars.
Cars is your guess, and research shows car steering wheels. This is grossing out. This is going to gross you out, Tom. Car steering wheels carry twice as many germs as toilets.
Wow.
Tests show that steering wheels averaged 41,600 germs compared with how many on a toilet seat? About 17,400.
Wow. I can tell you why that is too. And then you start driving.
How often do you wash the steering wheel of your car? You just very rarely do that. Only 13% of people clean their cars regularly. 5% never bother to clean them at all. Men will clean their cars an average of 14 times a year, women about 12 times per year. And that,
really?
That's it. That's that.
But I mean, men clean their car. Well, men are probably more into the cars than women are, right? You know, whatever.
Generally speaking. Yeah. And Cubby Broccoli is a name. Cubby Broccoli. They managed to secure a cut of the James Bond movie rights back in 1961. And since then, Cubby's family has made hundreds of millions of dollars from the franchise. In the last series, No Time to Die, the latest series, I should say, opens in October. If the deal is similar to past movies, the Broccoli family will net about 10% of global box office revenue. In the past, that's amounted to $100 million from a single Bond film. Now, think about this. Back in 1961, that was before the Bond films started to be made, but they thought these books were going to make good movies. And this guy somehow got his family's name tied into it, and they've been making bank ever since then. Wow.
Man. So once again, I'm wrong. I can't even win when Joann's not here.
Win a point when Joann's not here.
Man.
Well,
I'm going to have to quit this big number of the week game. I haven't won in, I think I haven't won since the Trump administration.
You're not wrong.
Wow.
We are going to have a very special guest with us next week, Michael Coolidge from The Michael Coolidge Show.
Nice.
One of my favorite guys, and he's going to be joining us on the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and we'll have some memories to share with that. So until then, remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone today, and we'll meet you back here next week, hopefully with Joann as well, on another Saturday morning Stateline show. Buddy, talk to you soon. Have a good week. Holiday week.
Let's go golfing. Maybe we can do Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
All right.
Bye.